With the Minecraft Chase the Sky drop coming out literally the day after tomorrow now, I thought it'd be fun to rank all the features coming out in a drop from worst to best. Since this is a relatively small drop compared to some of the others, there's only 6 notable features, which is pretty nice. So I'm going to start off with the sixth feature, number 6, the music disc. So in this drop, when you kill a gas with its own fireball, you will now, apart from getting gas tears and gunpowder, you will now also get a new music disc called Tears. I listened to it. I'm probably gonna do a music disc Tears at some point. It's pretty cool. I like the music itself, and I think the disc is a pretty cool like little collector's item. I like that it also fits with the drop since you like have to kill regular gas, and it may also have some more applications as well. However, it's just other things coming out in this update. It's definitely the least useful, especially since you can literally just find the track online and play it. You can even have it playing on loop, which you can't do in Minecraft. So yeah, it's not really the most useful thing ever. It's a cool item. I'm glad they're adding it. It also fits really well with the update, but it just isn't really the most useful thing to the player ever, which is why I'm only ranking it at number 6. Next are the lead changes. So in this update, they made quite a few improvements to leads to make them easier to get and easier to use. The first thing they did was they changed the crafting recipe, replacing the slime ball with a string. They also made it so you can leash mobs together, which I think is pretty cool. They also made it so you can like directly take leashes off of fences. So I didn't know why I couldn't do that before. They also made it so you could shear leashes. Just a whole lot of very useful lead changes that just they're not really the biggest thing ever, but I think they improve the game experience and are way more useful for the player than the music disc, which is why they're here. At number 5. So this is going to be a little controversial, but I'm actually going to put the player locator bar at number 4. So the player locator bar is a feature for multiplayer that basically replaces the XP bar and allows you to like track where your players are. You can still gain XP and you can see how many levels you have, but if you didn't just gain XP, instead of showing how close you are to getting a new level, you see the locator bar, where you can see where your different players are in your world and how to get closer to your players. This is a nice slow way to track players in multiplayer worlds, and I think it's a really good feature that should improve multiplayer on Minecraft Bedrock Edition and Java. Did it come there? I don't know. I don't think so, but it will improve multiplayer a lot, and I think it is a really useful feature. However, it's only really going to be useful in multiplayer, where I still think it has more use than the Tears music disc or the lead changes. It's still not really the most useful thing ever, since it's only useful for multiplayer and a lot of people might just choose to turn it off anyway. So, and some people might not even want players to find them. So, I'd say this is probably a more good number 4 option. I feel like. Now, this one's also going to be pretty controversial, but I'd say the saddle crafting recipe is a good choice number 3. So, I know some people are going to be telling me in the comment section, if anybody comments, that the play locatable is more useful because it just, it does more than the saddle crafting recipe. It's a bigger feature. But I feel like the saddle crafting recipe it just affects more players because, while the play locatable only really benefits people who are playing with their friends in multiplayer, it doesn't really help anyone in single player. The Soundcraft recipe is good for single player and multiplayer. And honestly, I am so glad they added this. I cannot tell you how happy I am that they made Sal's craftable. It's gonna make horses a lot easier to get. It's gonna add a lot less hassle. It's gonna make it so I can experience that part of the game a lot easier. I think this is such a good quality of life change. I'm so glad they added this. It means that I don't have to have as much hassle because before this, you had to like either fish or spend a long time fishing for your saddle, or you had to get lucky with structures for your saddle. And although I can't see the argument that it's good to have an exploration paywall before you can get something to explore better, I just think especially considering that there are some biomes that you can't even use a horse effectively in. I just think it's nice that they did this, especially since a lot of people forget the fishing is even in the game. Most people just don't really get a saddle and don't get a horse. So I feel like this is going to make horses a much more viable early game exploration choice. And I'm just so glad they added this, which is why it's not. And I think it's more useful than the features listed below it, which is why it's number 3. And the second best part of this Minecraft drop is definitely going to be the Happy Ghast, which is the new mob coming out in this drop. Now, the Happy Ghast has two main functionalities. The first one is that as you ride it, you can actually stand up on top of it and fully stand and walk on a happy gas, making it a good tool for building in like high up areas and like adding like ceiling decorations to your house and stuff like that in different builds. And the second functionality is that you can actually leash mobs and boats to it, making it be a good way to like travel, like transport mobs such as villagers and stuff like that. So this is going to be very helpful for both single player and multiplayer. It's going to make it a lot easier, like transport mobs around. It's also going to make building a lot easier. It's overall going to be a really good tool. And if you really want, although it's very slow, you could also use it for traveling. Although I wouldn't really recommend it, 'cause it's pretty slow. But yeah, it's a good way to improve building and transporting mobs, especially since they could really add that librarian nerf any day now. I think this transporting making it easier to transport villagers is also a very good thing, and I just really like this is here. It's a good feature. There's nothing really bad about it, and unlike some of the mobs we've gotten before recently, like the sniffer, this seems like something that people might actually be inclined to use, which I like. It actually has a good use. I also like you have to like explore and look around in the what's it called? The Soul Sand Valley biome, which didn't really have a lot in it before this, so I like that. And of course, you can craft it, which although I didn't like initially, I do kind of like that. It requires gaseous and soul soil. I think it can have soul oil applications, and overall, I have grown to like the crafting recipe to the happy gas. No, I mean the dried gas, what you use to get the happy gas. And I also like that you can also like explore the soul sand biomes and like look at these fossils. I think that's also pretty cool. There's an alternative way to get it, and of course you can also barter for it, which I really like. So overall, there isn't really anything I don't like about this feature. It's definitely more useful than anything I've mentioned earlier than this. So it shouldn't really be hard to say this is at least the second best feature in this drop. And the best feature coming out in this drop, although you can already probably guess that is, since there's only one noble feature left, it's easily vibrant visuals. Now, you'll understand just how big this actually is. Like, before this, although Java could download shaders if they wanted, Bedrock had really no way to actually get proper shaders. So, you could not make the game look as good as you could Java. But now, not only does Bedrock have shaders, but they're literally built in. You can just tune it on in the settings, which is literally probably one of the coolest things Minecraft has done in a while. Like, this is going to make the game look so much better. It's going to improve the game experience for many people a lot. Well, I know there are a lot of people who don't like stuff like this. You can just turn it off and not use it. So for the people who like it, they can use it. People who don't know have to use it. So that doesn't really matter. And honestly, this is just such a good feature. This is gonna make so many people happy. It's gonna be you'll be able to experience it like literally during your constant playthrough, which you cannot say about any of these features, any feature that Minecraft has added in a long time. So honestly, though, what else could really be number one? There is one problem. There is one thing pulling this feature down that I do want to mention, though. It's not coming out on Switch or Switch. I mean, I think there's a chance it might come out on one of them, but it might be maybe both. I don't think we know for sure until the drop actually comes out on Tuesday. But I don't think it's coming out on the Switch 1, and it may or may not come out on Switch 2. It doesn't matter because I'm not getting Switch 2. And I play Switch 1, and I only really play Switch 1 because I like to play on my TV. So I might not, assuming that this doesn't come out on a Switch, I'm not going to be able to actually experience this feature, and a lot of other players aren't going to be able to either. I don't know about the Switch 2, maybe, maybe not. I think there is a small chance it could come out on Switch 1, so let's still hope, but I don't think it will. It may or may not. I think there's like a 70% chance, though, Vibrant Visuals is not coming out on Switch 1, which honestly really sucks. Still, though, I can't really put Vibrant Visuals anywhere below number one because it's going to be too much of a good feature on all the other devices. I am, like, hyper glad they added this. So, it's still easily making number one. But with all that being said, that's the end of the video. If you liked it, leave a like. It'll help let the algorithm show the video to more people. If you didn't like it, dislike it. That's absolutely fine. I'll take that feedback. So, subscribe if you like the channel. And that's the end of the video. Peace out.